So, welcome to my new YouTube channel, Skyler Durden Vlogs. I suppose let's just put it out there. You have mostly watched Fight Club. You all know who Tyler Durden is. Well, let's just call me Skyler Durden because it sounds really cool. So I've thought about doing a YouTube channel for a really long time. Haven't done one before, mainly because I've been really busy. I am 34 years old. I'm a female who identifies as a female. I have a cat who identifies himself as a dog, but he's still a cat for veterinary purposes and all other intents and purposes. I don't really know how to describe my relationship status. I'm an Australian living in Nevada, which is kind of crazy because Nevada is full of psychopaths. The white people are all on meth and they walk around like the Walking Dead, like, oh, give me money. Ah! It's kind of crazy. I'm self-employed. So the last time that I had a job interview was 2007. So basically, if I was to look for a job now, it would kind of be like I was a single mom or a stay-at-home mom for a decade. I see myself as always being self-employed, and I want to start utilizing YouTube as an avenue where basically for a long time, I have so many goals. For a long time, I've been planning on doing a book about my life. That was before the current saga. My entire life, people have said, wow, you should write a book, you should write a book, you should write a book. Even celebrities have told me you should write a book. Actually, the Backstreet Boys once told me, you should write a book. That was 2011, the first time I met them. And now my life has taken this bizarre turn where so much trauma, drama, crazy stuff that normal people, basically, people who hear about my childhood say to me, how are you not a drug addict? And I'm like, well, because I'm not, because drugs are bad, okay? So there have been things that have happened in my life that have been very traumatic. I'm not one of these people who's like, bad things happen to me. Wow. I am a person who goes, I'm really frustrated because I do right by everybody. You know, yes, I screw up sometimes, definitely not perfect, but I do right by people and manage to get screwed over a whole lot. I guess a lot of people think they mistake kindness for weakness. So many crazy things have happened to me in my life that would make up individual vlog, I have to get used to that, individual vlog stories, crazy encounters I've had with celebrities, crazy things that have happened to me, crazy inappropriate things men have said that I think really need to be addressed on the internet, things that I think are wrong with society, things that I think are right with society. I definitely believe that everybody has the power to make the world a better place, but most people choose not to. I'm very against littering. I think if you're littering, you're part of a really big problem. I read once at Vancouver Aquarium, I don't smoke, but one cigarette butt can end up going through the digestive systems of over 200 animals, killing them, then their body decomposes, and then the part of the cigarette butt's still there and the cycle keeps going. I'm an Australian living in America. That is a whole other kettle of fish to talk about. I love America and aspects of America, but there's some really challenging parts of it that I don't understand. A lot of Americans seem to just have no knowledge whatsoever of other countries. You know, I've never seen a gorilla in its natural habitat, but I know what a gorilla looks like. I've met Americans that asked me if Australia was uptown or downtown, didn't know it was a different country. There was recently some sort of Mexican mammal that was kind of dog-like running around the street. I can't remember what it was called. They had the name up. It's an endangered species. It was running around like Decatur in a street, and these Americans were like, oh, there's a kangaroo on the loose. This animal was running. Kangaroos don't run at all. Kangaroos have little T-Rex arms. They're like, whoa! Well, they don't make that noise. They're just like, and they have these great big massive legs and a great big massive tail that's kind of like a bit of a tripod kind of system, and they go boingdy, 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 boing. You can look up kangaroos bounding and bouncing and hopping. They do not run. Definitely getting used to tipping is very weird. I'm not really an eat out at restaurants person. So I try and prepare all my own meals. So I don't really do that much that involves tipping to be honest. But when I'll go out with friends, like, oh, we're all going to go for Chinese food after church or whatever, and I'll like order, you know, oh, like it's like $3 for a side of steamed rice because everything else has a lot of oil or whatnot. And then you add tax, and then you add the tip, and then before you know it, it's doubled in price. Tax. That's another tricky thing. So in Australia, if I walk into a store with $5, I can buy something that's, well, $5. Whereas here, it's like the tax goes on at the till. It's really confusing. So anyway, I have a lot to talk about in terms of different, I guess, my cultural experiences living in Las Vegas as an Australian. Las Vegas is the second state I've lived in. I've also lived in California. It had two downsides. Downside one, taxes. I mean, ridiculous taxes. If you're self-employed, there's state tax of 13%. So I don't make 100 grand right now, but if I did make 100 grand, that's 13,000 in tax just to the state of California in your state income tax. There's federal income tax, which everyone in the country has, but then there's self-employment tax. Nevada, the same person in the same job, the two people are in the same job, the person in Nevada is going to be saving that $13,000 in tax, whereas the person in California is going to be paying it. Americans don't have free medical. It's not a socialist country, unlike Australia, Canada, most of Europe, England, Ireland, Scotland, Wales. So the crazy thing to me is that I can be walking down the street, some guy can shoot me because I look like his ex, or I look like someone who put him down once, or he's just having a bad day and I'm in the wrong place. He can shoot me and I'm going to have a hospital bill that is hundreds of thousands of dollars. You talk to Americans about this and they will argue that medical is a privilege, not a right, and should be paid for and should be expensive, and that stupid people in socialist countries are paying high taxes. And I'm like, dude, I have way less tax in Australia, way less tax. So I kind of describe it as like a Stockholm syndrome where like things could be better and they're arguing that they don't want things to be better. Whereas Australia, no one can shoot me, so that's not going to happen. But I've been treated in the ER probably 8 times since the age of 21, absolutely for free. That's a whole nother story, a lot of different things. But I just want to introduce myself, kind of say what I'm going to be talking about. Skyler Durden, really hope you want to follow. I'm a really friendly person. Sometimes I say things that people find offensive. I actually never try to offend anybody. I do call a spade and call things out like I see them. So hopefully, you know, I really want to vlog about things that are real issues. I think vlogging's easier for me than typing, even though I type 87 words a minute. I just think it's easier if I'm in front of the camera. So here's video 1. Please watch my next video, which is going to be me basically talking about